All right, welcome back to Fluckus Hoxa Podcast, episode 222. Today on the show, the alien invasion should be happening any day now. We have more compelling footage and facts that you're not going to want to miss. Then, we finally got a Barron Trump voice reveal in Housekeeping. Stay tuned for that. Then, we have some trans demands from an inmate that the state is going to adhere to. Wait till you hear why they, them is locked up. And last but not least, in Urban Decay, we show you who is really on the roads these days. Hint, it's no one good. All this and more, it's Fluckus Hoxa Podcast, episode 222, ranked the best new podcast of all time!
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words. But at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
It's Fluckus Hoxa Podcast featuring Richard Grabwood. All right, 1 for 1 on the intro, as always. Guys, our country witnessed a moment we'll never forget. We saw a man get shot on stage, rise up, fist in the air, and in defiance scream, "Fight." Sadly, a lot of us have lost our fight, and that's exactly how the globalists want it. They want us weak, out of shape, and full of estrogen and microplastics. This is why we're excited to partner with Chalk. Chalk offers a whole lineup of products formulated to increase your energy, focus, detoxify your body, and boost your testosterone. The ingredients in Chalk's male vitality stack have been clinically studied to boost free testosterone by 87% in just 21 days. Unlike the gimmicky vegetable pills or powder, you will feel the difference, and they have clinical studies to back it up. And right now, you can get 25% off of your Chalk subscriptions for life. Just go to chalk.com, CHOQ.com, and use promo code FLECKUS at checkout. 25% off of your subscription for life. You can cancel at any time. Chalk is made in America, and their all-American customer service team is standing by to assist you. It's time to make men's vitality great again. Get Chalk today. CHOQ.com is the website. Fleckus is the promo code. Go there now. They support the show. Let's support them right back. You can also call or text them at 50-CHOQ 3000. That's 50-CHOQ 3000. Thank you to sponsoring. Now let's get into housekeeping. All right, thank you to Chalk for sponsoring.
Thank you, Chalk.
Hey, we've all been taking Chalk here at the show.
Yeah, I just got a new package today. So.
I'm on a subscription. It comes every 3 weeks, and I'm feeling great. We can go over the numbers if you want. What I'm putting up at the gym. And then, yeah, a lot of people commented on last episode. I said the best news podcast of all time.
And you forgot to do it this week.
I did. And it is the best news podcast of all time, I think.
Are we fully making a transition? I actually like that one. Remember when you switched and you said the best new podcast of all times? And I really pushed back and I never got on board with it.
Best new podcast of all time is a little too intergalactic.
Yeah, some spaceship shit. Well, half of fucking housekeeping is aliens, so... But, hey, point is, best news podcast of all time actually kind of is a 1-for-1 swap. So, I'm in.
I'm in, too. All
right.
I like how that worked out. Everything really works out.
Yeah.
When you're headed in the right direction, everything works out.
Things come easy, yeah.
Yeah. Especially, okay, we don't have to get too into it.
Okay, fine.
We have
at
a
the
show.
Gym, especially at the gym. Is that what
I was going to say, especially when you're on that incline bench press machine, you have 4 plates on.
Hey, let me know when you reach Big Justice or whatever that guy's name is. Dad, AJ.
I'm closing in. All right, we have a great show today. It's Friday.
Yeah.
It's going to have that Friday feel to it. Still business as usual, but we got that Friday feel to it because no work tomorrow.
Good.
Feels good. Most important story of the day, in my opinion, we got a Barron Trump voice reveal finally after like 15 years.
Well,
as a baby.
He had a lot of clips when he was a child on like Entertainment Weekly or whatever, and then there was a long darkness.
So we had him at like 2 or 3 saying, "I love the suitcase."
Yeah.
And then since then it went quiet, and we're happy to show that we have adult Barron Trump voice to report.
Yes, hello, how are you? I'm in the business. It's very nice to see you. Very nice. I gave him a shout out last night. The place went crazy. Hello, how are you? It's very nice. Good to see you.
You too, buddy.
Oh, you've never met?
No.
Can we make him into a
Very nice to see you.
He's nice. I like him.
Me too.
He's a nice young man.
And it was tough to keep it under wraps for all those years. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that it's
extremely hard, dude.
He doesn't have a high voice. Hey, nice to meet you.
Hey, I'm 6'8", but my voice doesn't match. It fits. It's very nice. And we saw him meet Dana White live.
Yep, it definitely fits. It's great to see. There's the voice reveal. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but heard it here first.
Yeah, no, it was all over the internet, so you definitely didn't hear it here first. But it's good to see he's a normal guy. And, like, this kid, like, there's a certain, like, if you're growing up during this presidential times where your dad won the White House, lost the White House, won it back, he kind of is destined for some political shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And he's proper. He seems to be a proper young guy.
Exactly. Let's go on to our next story. We have a lot. Well, we don't have a lot in housekeeping, but we have to have a pace to it.
Okay.
Remember Pokemon Go a few maybe years ago? That huge craze. Everyone's playing. All the adult babies got the Pokemon again.
Yeah. And then some of you are still playing, and you know who you are.
Caught you.
The lifetimers. But we have a new update. So this headline says, so Pokemon Go was a scam. Niantic, which is the parent company, is using all the data from Pokemon Go to build one of the largest models for navigation ever built. When they wanted location info, they would put a Pokemon in that location. So all the people who were hunting Pokemon were just working as geo-navigators for free, and they were making money off the items like the Pokeballs outfits and all that. Am I the only one who didn't know this?
So they turned you guys into henchmen for big tech.
Yeah, you guys were rumbling around being like, oh my God, is that a Charizard? Wait, but it's at Martin Luther King and 20th.
Yeah, we got Charizard in West Philly.
Yeah.
I guess I can go.
I guess I have to. Oh, is that a Blastoise at the edge of the cliff? Whoa!
And then they're like, the cliff starts there.
Yeah.
That's where the cliff starts.
And here's the thing, like, aren't Google Maps, Apple Maps, isn't this all kind of charted? What is Niantic getting in on this? They're going to sell it to I guess there's always demand. And
everyone likes data.
Yeah.
They like to collect it, they scrape it, they sell it, they repackage it. Everyone loves data. I don't fully know how it works, but I know it's a lot of those things I just said.
And apparently megacorps don't like to share, like Apple and Google don't want to share that precious data.
They like to share your data, though.
No, they give that away. Advertisers, they pay money for it. But so then we were thinking, like, obviously the joke is, holy shit, a Charizard in fucking where that shooting took place. And now we've apparently find out there's a Pokemon Go death tracker. Mm-hmm. And so people have died. 25 deaths, 63 injuries. So it's not that much, but people have sacrificed their lives for the data.
Wow.
You want me to read a couple?
Sure.
Man fatally shoots attacker after being punched and robbed while playing Pokemon Go. So that was probably a West Philly type. 2 crows decided to wreck a Pokemon Go player in Japan during Pokemon Go Fest. That was just an injury. Man shot and killed while playing Pokemon Go with 7-year-old daughter at park in Evanston. So, got some scalps.
Yeah, got some scalps. They made you human meat.
Mm-hmm. Turned you up.
They turned you up. All right, let's get into our next story. I was going to say, speaking of human meat, but that is disrespectful to the recently slain CEO of the health company.
Absolutely.
Can you read the headline?
Yeah, obviously a lot of people saw this. United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was assassinated in Manhattan. He was facing a DOJ investigation and lawsuit when he was shot dead at investor conference.
And we have a picture of the guy's face, and we know now that he was staying at a hostel on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. He took like a city rental bike type thing.
That may be in contestant, though. That might not be true. I think that
bike?
That was the initial reporting, but I don't know if that's fact anymore.
Maybe not fact anymore. And then we also know that there were words written on the shell casings, deny, defend, and depose were written on the casings, which is a reference to a book about how insurance gets away with like scalping their customers and making as much money as they can and paying out as little as they can. So it's made to look like, I think it was like a hit, but it's made to look like it's someone who is mad at the insurance system.
Yeah. So what's your thought? Is that your take? That's what it is?
That's my take so far.
Because then there's also this like woman reading true crime books and listening to a podcast who would think that this is an excuse for like a disgruntled ex-wife to hire somebody and make it look like a insurance guy. So that's kind of where I trend towards. It's like someone kind of used it as a cover to kill this guy.
They do that a lot. Like a lot of times if people want to do a hit, they'll hire a crackhead or like a street rat, and then they'll do the hit, and then they'll just make that street rat OD.
Which is a good system. There's a reason that's a good system.
It's a tip. Depends what you guys want to do this weekend.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess and we were talking about this off camera, like, there used to be a time where a lot of people were getting assassinated and killed, and as a society, we've gone a little bit past that. But there was like an era, the late 60s and stuff. Everyone was basically dying or killing for a cause, and we've gone away from that. And I guess we'll see once they catch this guy, because he's on camera, and I don't know if you're going to get away with it.
Some real Gotham City shit.
Yeah, and fitting that it happened in New York, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get into our politics section. We have a lot of politics, not a lot, but that's where we're at in the show right now. Pam Bondi, I don't even want to read it. She says, I just wrapped up an amazing meeting with Senator Graham, and they're both smiling, going like that.
And of course, she's the replacement attorney general after Matt Gaetz dropped out, and not as sharp of a tool, I don't think. Not as on a revenge tour, but sitting down with Lindsey Graham.
Everyone looks happy.
Too happy.
I don't like when the swamp is happy and go, yeah, this is a great pick, and they give you thumbs up. They kind of laugh at you.
Yeah.
And we've spoken on the show before about the Republicans against Trump, the RATs, the rats. And we have an Animorphs graphic here of Lindsey Graham turning into one of those rats.
Yeah. He's a rat warmonger, so I don't know. Obviously, Attorney General is mostly domestic, and Lindsey Graham, his main focus is like bombing Iran to smithereens or something, which is shocking for a gentleman from South Carolina, as we've also said on the show. But I don't like that buddy shit.
I don't like that
You could get a little buddy, but, read the room. Do the people love Lindsey Graham right now? No.
Or you get buddy to like trick him.
Exactly.
Really bad. And then, Lindsey Graham voted us in. He's the first one to go down.
Exactly.
You know, I don't know if it's on that wave, but I can hope. We have another good appointment. Peter Navarro, senior counselor for trade and manufacturing. He's going to help Trump with tariffs and stuff like that. He was recently in jail too.
Yeah.
So it's good to get the band back together. People who got put in jail by the last regime are now going to be in this new one, and hopefully seeking revenge to get the people who did that to him.
Which typically is third world shit, from the jail to the next administration pipeline. Like, that happens after a coup or something. And now it's good to see Trump doesn't give a shit. He can pull people off the bench when the bench was in a cell.
Yeah, it's a revenge arc potential. And then Trump also met with Bannon, or at least shook his hand at Mar-a-Lago. I don't know how much they got to talk, but that's good to see too. Bannon was obviously in jail for a few months, and now he's back. They might send him back to jail, it sounds like.
Yeah.
And this one is not a federal crime that he can just get pardoned for. This is more of a state crime. I think it's the state of New York. So that's sad. I don't like seeing Steve Bannon go to jail. I love Steve Bannon.
Yep.
And then we have Pete Hegseth. There was rumors that DeSantis was going to replace him, but then Trump told him to keep fighting and that he's the guy. And then we had like 6 senators that were saying they're going to oppose him no matter what. And since then, it sounds like those senators have come around and gotten back to normal, or are not going to oppose him. But there is one. Can you read Savannah Hernandez's tweet?
Yeah, she said this morning, Iowa Senator Joni Ernst made the horrible mistake of still refusing to confirm support of Pete Hegseth's nomination. Since then, we discovered she voted to confirm Lloyd Austin for Secretary of Defense, who obviously is responsible for the horrific Afghanistan withdrawal, enforced Biden's unconstitutional military vaccine mandate, made our military an LGBTQ joke. She also supports transgender soldiers in the military, votes with Democrats 38% of the time, called for the U.S. to send more money and weapons to Ukraine, and called Zelensky an inspirational leader, had an affair with one of her servicemen while deployed, according to her divorce papers. The most are political, and then you throw in a little affair job at the end. Sure.
Yeah, a little affair too.
Yeah.
Lloyd Austin was the guy with the mask, that big black guy, right?
Yeah, of course. But again, these rhinos, these rats, these people, they just pop up, and it's like Lori Ernst, or Joni Ernst. When's the last time we heard from her? Now we're adding her to the Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski pile. And these people, they pop up. Senators have 6-year terms, right? So they kind of overlap and go beyond a president, and they can really be a thorn in your side, and you don't know if they're a rat. Like, we would have had no way of really knowing how much of a rat she was against Trump until Trump gets in and then, like, needs you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it really sucks. And this type of playing, this type of dancing around makes me want Trump to just kind of bulldoze, get recess appointments back on the table, and just jam some people through.
We got to jam people through. And also, we kind of have to have that Kavanaugh energy.
Yeah.
Of like, cool, say what you want. I'm a rapist. I'm a this. I'm a that. I'm a murderer. Okay.
Can I get 51? Can I get 51?
Send him through. And then you get revenge on everyone who opposed him through the legal systems.
Yeah. And that's what they're doing to Pete Hegseth right now, you know? And it's
Yeah.
a shame.
Very much a shame. Very frustrating. We're so close to having it all, and then we can get nothing because of people on our own side.
And then like whack-a-mole, a rat pops up and you go, huh, I didn't know you were looking to drag your feet and you're in Iowa. And then it's like Iowa, who voted so hard for Trump. You snapping it back?
Makes you want to snap it back.
Yeah. I've seen him do that a lot. And he wants to snap it back when the rats act up. But yeah, Iowa, who voted so strongly for Trump, and it's like, huh, so the senator from that state is going to be the one who drags. You know, I'd get it if it was a 50-50 state or a 51% Trump swing state. But Iowa, come on.
Kash Patel, Trump's FBI pick, has been targeted in an Iranian hack, and the actors have accessed at least some of his communications.
Iranian hack.
Iranian hack just means deep state.
That kind of is. It's a code word. Iran, they're not that sophisticated. You ever see Iran strike back against Israel or against anybody? They fire like 20 rockets and they all land in like the desert somewhere. But apparently they're hacking even America's top nominees.
Yeah, whenever our deep state wants to hack our own guys, they just go, oh, Iran did it.
That's Iran. That's got Iran's fingerprints all over it, right?
Jesse Kelly
must use the same software we use or something.
They probably literally do.
Yeah.
Jesse Kelly summed it up too. Can you give that a read?
He said, step 1, announce Kash Patel has been hacked by Iran. Step 2, the FBI who did the actual hacking leaks the damaging stuff to the media. Step 3, the media runs with the smears and Republicans in the Senate use that as an excuse to reject Kash.
Yep, that's where we're at.
Yep.
All right, next we have a Fani Willis update out of Georgia. Can you read what it says?
Breaking, Georgia court has ordered Fani Willis to disclose all communications with special counsel Jack Smith and the Democrat-led January 6th committee.
Like that.
Yeah.
We're going to see what they were saying. She's nervous.
All these bad behavior, shortcut, trying to prosecute Trump people. It's like, okay, let's look under the hood now. You really were stepping on the gas right before the election, and let's see what you have under there.
Yeah, let's see who you plan this out with.
Yeah, who was influencing you, right? You're too dumb. You're too stupid to do this on your own. Fanny?
It's so true.
So
she's a patsy. Mm-hmm. And I think when you get in that situation too, and the people above you are the ones pulling the strings and you're kind of the patsy who's taking the fall, that's the type of person that flips and goes, well, Jack Smith made me do it.
Yeah.
And then he got pointed by so-and-so, and then they were talking and they just made me do it, but blah, blah. You know, that's how it's going to play out, I think.
Okay.
All right, last piece of this page of housekeeping. Can you read what it says?
Yeah, this is a big one. Biden and White House is reportedly considering preemptive pardons for Adam Schiff, Liz Cheney, and Anthony Fauci.
So that might seem pretty down and depressing.
Yeah.
For you guys, but I have good news. If we get to the bottom of the 2020 election and find out that Joe Biden didn't actually win, all the pardons don't count. Karine Jean-Pierre, Supreme Court person, doesn't count.
Ooh.
A lot of things just get, oh, actually this, we're not doing that. Oh, this executive order, not doing that because this was a fake election that never really happened. So I'm thinking those pardons, they don't count. Hunter Biden doesn't count.
To be fair, that is a pipe dream. That is a podcast pipe dream. But at least at the minimum, it's like bad politics. It makes them look bad. Like it makes everybody look guilty. And then also it lays the groundwork for Republicans to over-pardon their political friends. You know, Trump can do whatever the fuck he wants, and it's buried in what was that, Fauci pardon?
Yeah.
So, you know.
And there's something too, and obviously I'm not encouraging anyone to do anything like this. I'm just speaking out on like the reality. When you do politically corrupt pardons like that, and then people find out what actually happened and why they're being pardoned, then you get into sketchy scenarios where there's like vigilante justice and people want that. And that's like the result of not using your judicial system correctly.
Yeah. Crazies on the internet do crazy shit, right?
Exactly. We saw obviously with the CEOs get shot. It's like, that's the kind of stuff that happens when people feel like that their justice system doesn't work for them.
For sure.
All right, we're getting to our next page of housekeeping, which, believe it or not, is our last page of housekeeping already. So make sure you guys use this opportunity to tickle the post, juice the algo, leave a like, leave a comment again, then start yapping, notifications, P.O. Box. old episodes watched.
All right. I was going to say last page of housekeeping, but there's like 6 folders in here.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff left. But I'm going to cook a little bit on this last page.
Okay.
All right, first, can you let this clip play?
This is Peter Hotez, who was a big COVID vaccine proponent and like a quack doc for a while.
Here's the reason why we need to care about this stuff, Nicole, is that we have some big picture stuff coming down the pike starting on January 21st. Mr. Bloomberg mentioned H5N1. That I'm really worried about. It's all over wild birds on the western part of the United States and going up in the north. It's getting into the poultry. We're seeing sporadic human cases, no human-to-human transmission yet, but that could happen. It's in the cattle. It's in the milk. And that's just the beginning. We have another major coronavirus likely brewing in Asia. We've had some...
Great.
January 21st?
That's when all the viruses start, January 21st.
The viruses are waiting. They're in a circle holding pattern, and they're going to come out on January 21st, or the day after Trump's inauguration. I don't get it. Is he talking about that's when Trump's coming and like that's when everything's going to change? Because he better be, right?
Nah, I think, I don't know. I don't know this guy's politics, but I think it's just a potential. There is some deep state stuff. This is how they operate. And you know how everyone's been, peaceful transition of power. Trump won fair and square. This is a democracy. That's how it works.
Yeah.
That's what you say when you go, and then when he gets into power, we're going to do the nuke and the viruses and stuff.
Yeah, that's what you say when you have something in your back pocket that's going to fucking derail the entire administration. So, I don't know.
So here we are. And then we've also talked about this on the show before, too, where I've always said that COVID obviously wasn't that scary or deadly or not that bad. And then everyone rejected it. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not social distancing. I'm not listening. I don't trust the science. I don't trust the doctors, which is correct and fine. But then if a new virus comes that's actually deadly, people are going to go, I'm not masking again. I'm not quarantining again. I'm going to go live my life. They did this already last time. And then that could actually get everyone killed because it'll be like the Trump supporters who don't listen to the science.
For sure.
I hope that doesn't happen, but when the virus comes, if the virus is deadly...
If I was an evil villain thinking 2 steps ahead, what would my plan be? And that sounds pretty good.
That sounds pretty good. All right, let's get less political. Jaguar, they had the Twink ad a few weeks ago. We covered that. We actually have a video of what their new car prototype looks like.
I am with the all-new Jaguar Type 00, which is a design vision. Check it out. It looks absolutely insane. When we look at the front, we can have a look at all these amazing LEDs, 23-inch wheels, and I'll show you the back of the car as well. These insane lights, as you can see. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have a look inside as the doors open, which is absolutely crazy. Check out that interior, which is unbelievable.
It's kind of sick.
Car looks fucking sick, so why'd you do the Twink ad?
It's like some Blade Runner shit.
Yeah, it looks cool. You did something unique. It's an electric car, right?
And it looks cool. It has like a classic modern look. Like it looks new and old.
Modern retro type. There's a word for that, I'm sure. But.
It's like a high-tech Gatsby car.
Yeah.
I really like that shit. And then there is another...
So why'd you do the gay commercial?
I would have bought that. I was going to buy that.
It's $150,000.
I was gonna buy it.
I was gonna buy that. Now I can.
Well, now
not
I
because
can.
It's 150, but because of the gay commercial.
Well, the gay commercial, I was gonna buy it even at 150.
I will push back a little bit though too. These electric cars for Tesla, even Tesla, Elon Musk is kind of our guy recently. You can see the interior here, just 2 pedals, a steering wheel, and like nothing. It's like the minimalist design.
I don't like it.
They can trap you in the car and make you sink in the water or something, right?
That's the thing. You don't even control the car. The car's got like a brain of its own.
I predict, and it's letting you control it for most of the time. But then when it kind of push comes to shove, it's like, error. You cannot leave. You cannot leave. And I think that the 2010s cars, like the 2000 to 2015 cars, if you have one of those and like you're trading in your car for a new car, you know how everything's got like lane assist and something beeps at you or it tells you not to do something?
Automatic stop.
Yeah, all those things. I think eventually we're going to miss all the freedom and autonomy we had with cars that we knew how to fix and like everything was straightforward. So I don't know. I'm thinking if you have a garage space, keep the old car.
That's interesting. And it's kind of similar to how kids are like helicopter parented and they're not allowed to do anything on their own.
Yes.
It's like you used to be able to control the car however you want. Now, if you change lanes without signaling, it goes beep, beep, beep.
Yeah.
Or if you back up and there's like some bushes that you kind of have to drive into, it does the automatic stop. And you know you can drive in.
Exactly.
So it's like there's a thing where it's like, oh, we don't trust you because you're a retard. We're tech. You're a retard.
Yeah.
And then there's another concept car from Mercedes. Like I think it's called a Maybach 6. Kind of similar.
That long extended front end.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
I would
Shit looks
float
nice.
around. I would float around in that shit.
So Jaguar had something nice, and then they just said, let's ruin it with a twink campaign for no reason. Like an avant-garde twink, genderless, race mixing, nothing campaign, you know?
Non-binary.
Yeah, let's get a non-binary Chinese guy in there. Then we release the car. Fucking stupid. Are you in there, Stu?
Next, if you're in the market and you want to spend even more, if 150K is not enough, can you read this post?
1995 Honda Corduroy Accord, what is that, four-wheel drive? V6, 300K
300K.
for the Corduroy.
We might need to get into the corduroy car business.
That does look pretty sick. Must be kept in the garage. Obviously, no rain. Can't be out in the rain.
Corduroy car. I think it's front-wheel drive.
Okay, front-wheel drive.
Corduroy.
I don't know why that was hard for me.
Okay, moving on. All right, for our next story, it's a football-related story. Joe Burrow. Everyone knows Joe Burrow. He's a popular guy. He had high hopes.
One of the top-paid quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, and he had a lot of promise.
Yeah.
They were calling him Broadway Joe, too. Mm-hmm. But he's being Broadway Joe, not in the metropolitan socialite sense. He's more of a thespian theater kid based on his gay outfit. So he hasn't been playing that good this year. The team is 4-8. He's not that good. He throws picks. He kind of gets mad. He's sad. And I think part of it has to do with the time spent focusing on his gay outfits.
I agree.
Here we have, let's rattle through like three of them. Pink outfit, lady clothes. He's wearing like a full lady outfit, mesh shirt.
Zoolander 2 shit.
Robin the Cabana type shit.
Yeah.
Here's him again with like a sleeveless sweater. He's wearing these weird outfits and he's putting too much effort into it. And I think it plays a big part. And he's like basically wearing borderline costumes.
Yeah.
And if you're going to wear a costume, fine. Wear a cowboy costume. Wear a garbage man outfit. At least garbage men work hard.
One piece reflective on the shoulders and the legs.
And they get the job done, garbage men.
Yeah, for sure.
And then if you wear it and people go, oh, this outfit's a little weird and like you're doing a bit, his outfits currently are bits.
Yeah.
So it's like you're allowed to do it. You're just choosing the weird stuff. And he's a confident guy, which is weird because I feel like it's a fake confidence where he goes, I'm a confident guy. I could wear capri pants and a pink sweater vest.
That'll look good on me.
That's confident, right? And it's like, not really. And I think this is my main point for all this. It's a bigger picture thing here.
Okay.
I've never seen a twink throw a touchdown.
Okay.
So if twinks don't throw touchdowns and you dress like a twink, what do you think is going to happen?
It's pretty self-explanatory. It's causation, correlation, and it's everything.
Exactly. And then we have an example here. This is how Josh Allen comes to the stadium on Sundays. So he goes to the metal detector. He's comfy. He's wearing sweats and a sweatshirt. That's how I dress.
Look at that. Beanie. Comfy,
He's
cozy
giving
shit.
nucks to everybody. He's got a beanie on. He's comfy. He nucks the workers. Confident, humble, grateful,
And you know what he did that
focused.
night?
What did he do?
He threw for a touchdown, received a touchdown, and rushed for a touchdown. First time in history.
That's what it's about.
Comfy shit.
He's not focused on his costume. He's focused on getting to work and doing the business.
Yeah, and to be fair, I'm going to push back. Joe Burrow, it seems like his defense sucks. Their offense is still pretty good. But I agree, this type of like this NFL runway shit that's going on, he's got somebody in his ear who's like, yeah, this looks good, or a girl, or somebody's telling him to do way too much shit. You wearing the pink vest, the pink shit. Come on, man.
Not good.
Yeah.
Well, let's just focus on football. You're 6'4".
He's handsome. He's a handsome, normal guy. He's like a star quarterback. And then you have to go and take it a step too far. Right?
You show up in a 3-piece suit.
Yeah.
Business trip.
Let's go back to classics, right?
And Josh Allen does it right.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
congrats, Josh. We love Josh Allen here.
Yeah.
All right, next, we're still in my page of housekeeping where I can cook a little bit and get into my schizo stuff. I've been thinking about home ownership. And
Twinks don't throw touchdowns.
That's the main
Sorry
point.
to interrupt you, but that's the main takeaway. Twinks don't throw touchdowns.
So why would you want to dress like a twink? If the twinks don't throw touchdowns.
It's actually easy.
And you dress like a twink, you're never going to throw a touchdown.
Yeah, duh. It's one of those duh moments.
Or maybe they'll go, twinks don't throw touchdowns except Joe Burrow.
Except for me, I could do it. I throw touchdowns, so I could be a twink. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't work. It doesn't
All
work.
right, sorry to go back and
It's
interrupt.
okay. We're on the next page of housekeeping, the true final page. I've been cooking a little bit about home ownership and how it's so hard for people and it's like out of hand and all the prices are crazy. And I want to do an example and I want you to kind of fact check me loosely.
Okay.
Not to the T, but loosely fact check me. Okay. If you had $1 million house that you wanted to buy and you got a mortgage on that house, in 30 years, when you pay off the house and it's yours, you would have paid for that house 2 times over.
Pretty much.
Okay. Property taxes in nice areas, 2 to 3% a year of your home price. So say it's 3%, because we're going to make an example. 3% times 30 is basically 100%.
Yeah.
Close.
That's on the high end. Yes.
On the high end, but close. So in 30 years, when you pay back your mortgage twice, and then you pay property taxes for 30 years, you basically buy the house again.
3 times total for the house. The initial house cost, the interest on the mortgage, and the property taxes. So that's 3 total houses right there.
And then on top of that, if you get a mortgage, you're required to have insurance because the bank owns your house, not you. And then when you get insurance, it ends up being like in Florida, for example, $1 million house is about $10K a year.
Yeah.
So $10K a year times 30 is $300K. That's 30% of the house. So in 30 years, you buy your house, but you really buy it 3.3 times.
Yeah, you're right.
And then your house goes up, and my $1 million house is $2 million. I'm a genius. You're still a house and a half back.
And that's, as a hedge against inflation, I will push back against you. Theoretically, you are correct, but as a hedge against inflation, you're paying back with cheaper dollars by the end of that 30 years. So it really kind of is different there. But I agree. And that's why when Republicans are talking, or Democrats rather, keep referencing the price of eggs, we're not really fucking talking about eggs, right? We're talking about property insurance, taxes, retarded shit. All these stupid things, and then 30 million illegals doesn't really help with any of that.
Yeah,
right?
decades of like manipulation and getting gouged.
Yeah, so I'm with you, and who knows what it'll be if Democrats regain control long term and stuff the country with even more people and still make it expensive to build houses. So we're not saying not to, but I'm not saying not to. You might be, but I'm generally disgruntled. Mm-hmm. I'm generally disgruntled
as well.
Okay.
All right, we got to move on. We got to go fast because we're actually running out of time for this part of the show. Trump posted him and Elvis without a comment. It's an AI photo. And then some people are saying that there are some entities that live forever and jump from body to body, and maybe Trump and Elvis are the same person.
Who's saying that?
And then Elon's the same thing. Could be one of those types, jumps body to body. And then you have...
used to be Thomas Edison or something?
Yeah, or used to be Tesla.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why he named the company Tesla.
So stupid.
And then you also have Willy Wonka and the guy from The Bear.
Yeah, for sure.
But they overlapped, I think.
Okay. And I will say, less schizo version, Trump's just a boomer who likes AI. You see the boomers on Facebook. They love AI. They slurp it up. They're like, ooh, that's me? And then Trump, obviously AI makes a lot of Trump stuff and people use it. So he's like the chosen boomer, Yeah. He's probably had the most AI made of him of any single subject. So it's very, very good for him.
Good point. And then AI.
I like commenting on this. Like I commented on Trump when he posted this. I just said, so true. Give him the response he wants.
So obviously with these photos we just showed, there's a lot of doppels there. Someone messaged me the other day and said, Fleckus, are you still doing doppelgangers? And I just said no.
He attached the most disrespectful doppelganger photo of all time. And my first thought on this was what he typed into the prompt on the AI. Fat motherfucker on a Vespa with ceviche.
Yeah.
How many times did he type it in?
Yeah, fat motherfucker.
4x fat.
So I said no.
Yeah.
All right. Now
so
we
would never show that on the show.
Yeah, well, we don't do doppels.
Yep.
And that's why. All right, we're in our alien section. We have a lot of alien stuff to get to. We're going to go fast, but there are important things here. First, we have the new footage of spaceships. What's that? I never see anything like that. Aliens. All right, next. We can speed round this. And then our next one is a compilation out of the UK.
Them drones. Let me be very clear. This isn't conspiracy. This isn't craziness. They are not drones.
Look at it. Look at it. Look at it on the camera. It's like a dome.
That's a UFO.
They're not moving like drones. They're not acting like drones, and they cannot disperse them as if they were drones.
But the weird thing for me is that there's no flashing lights in them at all.
At the moment, I think all we can legitimately say is they're objects and they're unexplained.
The frequency of this stuff is...
So that was a little compilation of the last few weeks. There's a lot of stuff in the news.
That was all recent?
Yeah, that was all in November.
Wow.
So there's a lot of stuff going on. The alien part is
So
coming.
it's heating up? It's heating up?
Remember that picture from a while ago of Trump meeting the aliens?
Yeah, that was Boomerang Slop as well.
I think that was foreshadowing.
Okay.
And then we get into our next part where we have all the different types of aliens.
This is where I'm fascinated by.
We're going to go quick, but Rapboy's going to read them.
The mantid type. You want me to read these little things too?
Yeah.
Draco system, telepathic, shapeshifter, abductor, overseers. And they're about 7 feet tall as compared to a human. You can see at the bottom there.
They look like a mantis.
Then you have the grays, clones, telepathic, intelligent, abductors, emotionless. And they're smaller. They're 4 feet tall.
4 feet.
Then you have the reptilian, who seems like a fighter. They're from the Draco system, telepathic, shapeshifter, abductor, warlord. Yeah, they're a fighter. And they're 8 feet tall.
They were bigger.
So far, they're all abductors.
Oh, yeah.
And shapeshifters. Then you have the Nordic, Pleiades and Venus, Galactic Federation, appear in dreams, abductor, telepathic. And they're 7 feet tall, and they look like they're from Scandinavia.
And you know who else is 17 feet tall?
Shaq?
Barron Trump.
Ooh,
He
smart.
looks kind of like an alien, too.
Okay,
And aliens would hesitate to talk for 15 years.
that's true.
Okay, so that's the types of aliens we're dealing with. I don't know which ones the orbs were. Probably the grays because they fit in the little orbs, and the grays are only 4 feet tall.
I was going to say, I mean, there's a reason. There's definitely a reason all alien cinema, art, whatever, has been these little type of big-eyed guys for a long time.
The CIA tells the people, and then they go make the movie based on what they tell them, which is like what happened to Steven Spielberg and that movie.
E.T.?
No, the other one where they have the camera and they film the aliens.
Okay, Signs maybe? I don't know.
No, different one.
Spielberg.
Okay, and then we have this guy. He makes some great points. Let's let the clip play without context.
But out of the 4 we knew of in 1963, we have a relationship with at least 2 of them, and they've made it very clear that we are being evaluated as what you might call a third world country. We were being evaluated for possible membership in a galactic federation. They are members of a vast federation of planets, in different planets, different star systems, even from different galaxies. And
It's pretty interesting.
So we're like Ethiopia being, considered to join the UN or something. some war-torn third world country, because we're not that smart and good. We got Elon Musk, and they're like, very impressive, Elon.
You have a couple good guys.
Okay, I get it.
And then next
I'm following so far.
Yeah. See, this isn't that schizo.
Okay.
This is going to be
the alien types, that's just 100% made up schizo, but it's fun. It's fun.
We'll see.
Okay.
Everyone will figure it out. Okay. And then next we have a story from history from 1976, the 12th Planet book. Can you read what it says?
Yeah, in his 1976 book, The 12th Planet, Russian-American author Zecharia Sitchin claimed that the Anunnaki were actually a race of extraterrestrial beings from the undiscovered planet Nibiru.
Nibiru, yeah.
According to Sitchin, they came to Earth around 500,000 years ago to mine monatomic gold, which they used to stabilize their planet by reflecting harmful radiation with gold particles in their outer atmosphere, functioning like a shield. In the process, they hybridized their genes with Earth's primates to create an intelligent workforce, whom we now call humans.
It's interesting. That may be why gold is so popular.
Yeah.
And then
there you go. That's against your religious beliefs, though, brother.
I know.
You can't be really messing with that.
I'm God first, and I think it all plays in a grander way that we can't fully understand. But I have faith in Jesus Christ, who came to earth and died for our sins so we could have salvation. Okay. Next,
as long as I just wanted to check. I just wanted to check there.
And then next we have some aliens in an old photo, which looks real. And then we have an alien shaking hands.
Which looks real.
And we have an alien shaking hands with a military person.
Wow, great.
So they've clearly had meetings.
Can't fake that.
And then Hillary Clinton could be a shapeshifter. She smells like sulfur. She could be one of the Draco or reptilians, in my opinion. Can you read what it says?
Years ago, a photo of Bill and Hillary Clinton surfaced, taken at the exact moment when Hillary was glitching. This exposed her true nature as a reptilian shapeshifter.
I mean, compelling.
Hey, people have fun with this. And what I say is that a lot of the information, like the throwing the Hillary edited picture in there, it kind of discredits some of the other stuff.
If it's not real.
They throw too much stuff at the wall at once, and then it's like, okay, I'll believe none of it instead. You know, that's how they get you.
That's a controlled opposition tactic,
That's
too.
what I'm saying, yeah, and that's what's happening.
But
then,
that's if the Hillary Clinton picture's fake.
I'd like to see an orb in the sky firsthand. I'd like to get a rep.
I saw some satellites a few times.
Yeah, that's not very hard. There's like thousands.
All right, well. All right, we're wrapping up housekeeping.
All right.
The other day, on the day of the assassination of the CEO, I got a knock at the door, and Jerry, the dog, the Rottweiler, was freaking out. And the guy looked like a power and sewer type, like a city worker, but he wasn't. He looks like a goon hitman, like a Turkish, not Italian, but he had like some Arab or something. And he was wearing like dress pants and a vest that wasn't a vest for a company. And he was in the driveway, and Jerry was freaking out. And I was like on the side, like peeking out. And then Jerry was looking at me, and I was like, I don't know him, Jerry. I don't know him. Because sometimes like when someone knocks on the door, like the mailman, I'll go, it's okay, Jerry. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. And he knows like it's chill. Like he was looking at me, and I was going, I don't know him. I don't know him. And it makes me want to send Jerry to Bite School again.
Yeah.
Bite School 2. Back to Bite School.
All right.
We can make a movie
like
title.
a 1980s movie. Yeah. There you
go. So something to keep an eye out for. Keep an eye out for assassins, guys.
There was actually a recent case where some guys who pretended to be energy people with yellow vests came and killed somebody.
And they run up in your house, or they pretend to be jogging or an Amazon worker, and then they get, or imagine someone's like walking in your backyard with the vest. Like they're just scouting, so.
It's okay to not answer your door sometimes.
No, yeah. There's really nothing to answer the door
You get a bad vibe, somebody, you know.
They used to make me answer the door for the taxes. They used to give me the mailman. You go, oh, here's a letter, and it's about taxes. You got to sign for it.
Another one from the IRS.
We're going to seize your property. What are you going to take it? Oh, take it. All right, last piece. I made a George Floyd shirt to tide me over.
Yeah. Little something.
Just
We've
says
still been
George
getting
Floyd.
designs, too.
We're getting designs, and they're all great. Nothing's popped out all the way to me. We haven't picked a winner. But to tide me over, I made a George Floyd shirt. And then our last thing, we're filming this yesterday night. So during the day, it was announced that a earthquake hit California, and there's a San Francisco, Berkeley, California tsunami warning. So just in case that ends up happening, San Francisco was wiped off the map by a tsunami yesterday.
I think they already cleared it. They already said it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But this was predicted by the prophet Frankie McDonald.
This is Frankie McDonald, my own TV station, live in Nova Scotia. Major earthquake's going to happen in California sometime in 2024. The earthquake's going to be 7.0 greater magnitude or even 6.0 greater magnitude. That's going to do a lot of shaking because California lies on the San Andreas fault line. Once those two tectonic plates rub at each other, once it slips, that could cause an earthquake in California that could do damage to buildings and may affect Oregon and Washington as well.
Wow. That was over a year ago he said that.
Spot on, brother.
Yep.
Keep grinding.
We love Frankie McDonald here on the show. All right, moving on. That is the end of housekeeping. We are moving on to Cringe of the Week. All right, our first story for Cringe of the Week. Remember last episode we talked about the DoorDash guy in Canada that was spitting in the food?
For no reason.
For no reason. It wasn't about no tip or anything like that, just spitting in the food. And then even a while ago, the guy who didn't tip, remember he threw the SHIT all over the walls and said no tipper here? We covered that too.
Yep.
We have another example of who's delivering your guys' food.
Yeah, at work I'm at drop off an order, and my diaper's getting kind of full right now, so I might need a change really soon, but it is very discreet. Check out my last video for the discreet outfits video, but my diaper is getting a little full right now.
Yeah, so the leaky diaper boy is delivering your food.
Leaky diaper trans baby boy is gonna, wipe his diaper a little bit and adjust his pants and then deliver your McDonald's.
Here's your stuff.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to show that. We had another example. We're going to keep tracking, send it to us too. We're going to keep tracking the worst of the worst when it comes to delivery people.
Then this is another one of those things where the same thing that might attract some normal, healthy people, like, oh, I don't really have to report to anybody. I don't have a direct boss. I just kind of work my own hours. All those things that attract someone to be like, oh, this is good for a little supplemental income, or maybe when I'm between jobs or something. It also attracts the 1% of the 1% retarded people.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then, if you order Uber Eats enough, how many times have you seen like an Uber Eats driver pull up in like a shitty car and then their boyfriend does the delivery or something?
Yeah, all the time.
Wrong profile, which we've covered for the migrants in NYC buying someone else's like profile. So I don't know. The low trust section of Earth is now weaseling its way into that industry, and it's, with all the fees and shit you pay for DoorDash and Uber Eats, it's not really a great look.
And that's the type of industry and business and convenience thing that exists in like a high trust society.
And it should, but then you get Diaper Boy and you get Migrant Spitter, and all of a sudden, market share drops, or, your orders drop significantly after a few bad experiences, right?
All right, let's get into our next clip. Let's just let it play, I guess.
I'm delivering 3 sermons today, each one to a different group of people. And this one is for the Trump supporters. You are going to hell for this. You're going to hell for this. You have blatantly disregarded your neighbor. You have failed to care for the widowed, the orphaned, and the immigrant. You have committed idolatry, and you have become lost in your greed and your lusts. You are proud and envious, and you will face that reality on Judgment Day. A lot of you have become too arrogant to believe that you could go to hell. A lot of you have become so idolatrous that you don't think that man could get you there. But you are wrong, and I have never felt something with such conviction in my entire life. And I don't come to you as a saint, I come to you as a fellow sinner. You can repent. You can walk away from this. You can start to atone. But I doubt any of you will. I think that if God himself came down from the heavens, laid hands upon Donald Trump and called him the Antichrist, you would still follow him. Because what? He's promising to make eggs a little cheaper? Like, I'm not happy with
that. That's what they do. They always say, like, oh, the right wing only likes Trump because they're getting cheaper groceries, as if that's not true.
As if that's the overarching theme, like eggs. Like, we're talking about literally a $5 to $7 item that we buy at the grocery store.
That's why everyone's shifting to the right.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's like 50 million illegals here. The criminals do whatever they want. They're transing the kids. Money's not worth anything. You have to buy a house 3 times to buy it once.
Yeah, here's a picture of us buying eggs recently. Yeah. There's 40 million illegals right over your shoulder, breathing and going, hey, you got any free stuff? Yeah. We're not, the eggs thing is an easy meme. We're not talking about literal eggs. It's insurance, gas, this, that, every single cost. Everyone's trying to squeeze us for everything. They're not building new houses. And the houses that are being built are being bought by foreigners. Rich foreigners, and then occupied by cheap foreigners who hack a house to live 10 people in a 3-bedroom house. And all of a sudden, your rent in Springfield, Ohio, which has no demand, skyrockets, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then also that priest,
father, that genderless blob with a bull ring in its nose.
And the pig nose.
Yeah.
They said that, we're not looking out for our neighbors.
That's a huge one. They always try to use your scripture or your beliefs against you. And think about the term neighbor. What is a neighbor back in the time of the Bible being written?
Back in the day, it was like an equal person who's in the community who has like the same interests and shared religion and is someone who is like in your community.
The farmer next door who also married your cousin and who you help harvest his crops and he helps harvest yours.
And everyone kind of overlaps with each other. They all have some sort of common interests or common goals or common God. And yeah, now it's like what? The Pakistani guy who gropes your daughter on the subway? That's your neighbor. You got to look out for him.
This new leftist defined term of neighbor is anyone on planet Earth. Any one of 8 billion people. And you have to think about your neighbor, the Ugandan man who crossed the southern border for some reason during Joe Biden's term. He's your neighbor and you have to vote for him. And you have to repent and sin for him according to this pink-wearing priest. So the bastardization and the manipulation of scripture towards their own goals and a neighbor versus a neighbor, their definitions are such a wild swing that it doesn't even make sense for me to listen to you at all once you've opened your mouth.
Demons know scripture too.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, oh, my neighbor who used to be my exact same ethnicity, my exact same like family, all of our interests overlapped, and it's like, do not covet thy neighbor's wife. And it's like, oh, I would never. But now it's like a Ugandan guy, like who's peeping Tom at your house, or he's sleeping outside.
They just sit out front of on the stoop all day, and there's 30 of them in a 2-bedroom apartment, and then they're getting $1,000 a month each from the government, which is our money, and then they get free food too. And it's not really our neighbor anymore. We're past neighbors now.
Exactly. It's not my neighbor.
All right, let's pick up the pace. Next is a trans person.
This is a man who thinks he's a little bit of a lady, is what I think.
And then they ran into another trans person they look up to, and here's what happened.
You know, it's crazy. There was I'm not going to mention her name, but there was a trans woman yesterday who loved me so much. She, I'm not going to say who, but she put hormone pills in my bag. I know that's like, but that shows how much someone loves you. She put hormone pills in my bag, said, I love you, just please, if that, she said, just make sure, that was so.
Yeah, that's a nice way to show you love somebody.
Those super dangerous hormone pills in a stranger's bag, no blood test, no speaking with the doctor, no anything, just straight to here's the result.
Very liable.
Let's block your shit. Let's fuck you up. Yeah.
And then also remember that a lot of the people in the LGBTQ community can't be born into it. Like they can't reproduce. Like gay guys can't have babies even though they constantly try.
Yeah.
They can't do it, but they do reproduce through abuse. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of an example of that.
Social pressure, yeah.
Where like a guy's putting hormones in another guy's bag, and it's like that's how you get another trans person.
Yeah. It's like cellular mitosis. You just split into two, and now I dumped my hormonal drugs, my dangerous hormonal drugs on you.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, our next story from the intro, the inmate who is having a sex change paid for by the government. Can you read the context?
Yeah, it says, update, in perhaps the most irony-laden story I've ever broken, the U.S. government has agreed to give a sex change to an inmate who tried bombing the U.S. government. I uncovered this inmate's identity in July, but the Trump shooting happened 2 days later, and it never received the attention I think it deserves. Cassidy sued for a sex change as Jane Doe last December, and the DOJ filed an amicus brief in support in January. Ironically, while Cassidy was under investigation for bomb making. Even more ironically, the inmate was under investigation for sending a bomb to 1400 New York Avenue Northwest in Washington, D.C., a building that houses a DOJ office. In other words, the DOJ filed an amicus brief in support of an inmate who apparently tried bombing the DOJ, according to the DOJ. To add a drop of stupidity, the DOJ refers to Cassidy as a female in the sex change litigation, but calls him a man in the bombing case.
Two different guys.
Two ships passing in the night. Cassidy was indicted on the bomb charges in April. His trial was set for next week, but has been indefinitely postponed. I wonder if he'll get the sex change before trial and how that will affect the case, right?
Well, the DOJ is trying to make him like him.
Yeah.
Hey, you've tried to bomb us. That wasn't cool.
Settle down. We'll make you a lady.
We'll make you a lady. We'll pay for it and no more mean. We're cool, right? You like us, right?
And the thing with all these trans inmates and stuff, it's like if you're bored and you have 23 hours in a cell every day, yeah, I might petition someone to give me something, or I might write a letter for someone to do something. And if you're the DOJ or if you're the White House, you have to be the adult in the room. It's like the baby or the toddler saying, "Can we get candy for dinner?" It's your job to be the parent and say, yeah, you tried to bomb us, brother. Not on this one.
Yeah.
You don't have the rights. And so, again, it's one of those adults in the room scenarios where apparently our government doesn't feel the need to say no to the child throwing a tantrum for candy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we're moving on to Urban Decay. That was a little bit of a light cringe, just some trans stuff, nothing crazy.
Okay.
But in Urban Decay, as we mentioned in the intro, we have a reminder who's on the road with us section.
It's been a big theme for our show recently about all the migrants and uninsured people and the dangers of the road. And yeah, go ahead.
We'll just let the first one play. It's pretty self-explanatory. This guy's doing whippets while driving, and now he's falling asleep.
Oh shit! Hey, what the fuck, fool? Hey, oh, wake him up, wake him up! Hey, wake up, fool! Hey, where the fuck man? Oh, fool! Hey, come on, fool! Wake him up, wake him up! Oh, man.
Time to buckle up.
So yeah,
imagine he falls asleep and you have to just like put your seatbelt on.
It's like an oxygen dropping down on the plane. You take care of yourself first, and then you try to wake the guy up.
I used to have a nightmare like that where I'm in the passenger seat of a car and then I'm talking to somebody, then I look out the window and then I look back and they're not there, and then I need to, like, before the car crashes, take my seatbelt off, jump, and then press the brake with my hand. I've had that dream like 100 times as a kid.
Fascinating. Thanks for sharing.
When I saw
that means you're gay. That dream, you know how they analyze dreams? That one means you're gay.
Yeah, hope not.
Hate to break that to you.
But then I see that and I'm like, ooh, that's like kind of what the dream, the same energy as the dream.
And that's our second video recently showing someone doing whippets while driving. And we showed the one where the guy like rammed into a 4Runner. He just kind of had no reaction at all, drove straight into a car. And if that many people are filming themselves doing whippets, how many people are just doing whippets while driving?
Good point. So we on the road, we have people doing drugs. On the road, we also have TikTokers. Here we have a clip. So we have the crash right behind him, and then the guy's doing TikTok dancing. And then there's like people like the tow truck guys walking in the background. But he's using the opportunity to up his production value. Yeah. Now that there's a crashed car on the scene, you could shoot that.
And I don't think he was one of the drivers. He just used the production value.
Oh, I thought he was the driver.
No, but here's the main lesson here, right? I actually used to get pissed at people. Like, you ever pull up to a stop sign and someone's already stopped at one of the other intersections, and then they wait for you to come to a full stop before they go? And then you're a little pissed. You're like, come on, I was clearly stopping. You could have gone and saved me some time. Now I'm lightening up on those people because I see these brutal running stop sign videos like this one where someone's just slowly going and they get full speed crashed into.
T-bone. Drive slow, homie.
So who knows? Whippets, illegal migrants, Haitians.
You never know, homie.
I want to be a little more patient on the road is my point because, you know, these people are playing defense out here. It's not offense season. And I'm a young man, you know, testosterone and stuff. I kind of am like directing traffic out there, but not everybody's like that.
Yeah, and especially when we see the rest of the drivers in our section, everyone's going to be really taking it slow.
Yep.
So we have another social media person.
Yeah, my bad. So, and Cake doesn't... Wow, that's a clip. Clip it. I went live, though.
It's like someone crashes into you, and now you're like, oh, I got content.
Clip it.
That's content. Someone crashed into me. I almost died. That's content. Someone's hurt right now, and they need help. That's content.
Clip it.
Online world is way better than the real world. Clip it.
So TikTokers, streamers, whippets,
illegals,
and which brings us to our next video.
Investigators say a 7-year-old girl was killed after a suspected drunk driver plowed into the car she was riding in.
41-year-old Joel Gonzalez is being held on a $150,000 bond as the family of 7-year-old Ivory Smith is dealing with unimaginable grief after losing her. Now, 7-year-old Ivory Smith was killed on Sunday morning while riding in the backseat of her mother's car as they were heading home. Investigators say 41-year-old Gonzalez was intoxicated and ran through a red light, T-boning Ivory and her mother near North Bamel Road and North Sam Houston Parkway. Prosecutors say Gonzalez then got out of the car and started taking pictures of the scene without rendering any sort of aid. Gonzalez's bond is set at $150,000, and should he post bond, the judge has revoked his driving privileges and he must submit to alcohol monitoring. He also has an ICE hold, or immigration custody enforcement hold, since authorities say he isn't a U.S. citizen. So
we have illegals who are drunk at 6 a.m. crashing into nice people who are up early doing something.
Yeah, and I'm actually not positive that it was at 6 a.m, but that's the broader point that we wanted to make is like there's an overlap between someone drunk as fuck from the night before and you driving your family somewhere early the next morning. A lot of DUIs happen in that kind of like 4, 5, 6 a.m. window. And a lot of them are illegal, drunk off Modelo and tequila. And, you know, he doesn't care. he cares about taking pictures after. He doesn't render first aid.
Yeah.
It's not he's not from here.
You're not his neighbor.
Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, that's your new neighbor, according to the fucking lesbian or
The
whatever.
pig retard priest.
Pig pastor, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, illegals, fentanyl. And this whole time, we still have boomers. We still have old people who like shouldn't be driving, who are like 85, like my grandpa back in the day. Blind as a bat, couldn't see, didn't want to give up his independence.
Scrapes on the side of the car.
So that was all we had before. And then drunk teenagers or something, that was it. Now these threats are evolving, and then, someone will make content out of it when you get T-boned by a drunk illegal.
Yeah, exactly. People on whippets, uninsured Haitians, illegals, TikTokers, old people. Not a lot of normal people in America anymore.
It's pretty grim out there.
It's crazy. All right, next. This isn't a driver, but this is someone who was released from prison, and then they're interacting with someone who, I guess, knows them on the street.
Hey, KK. What up, homie? I thought you were locked up. Just got out? That's right, homie.
Then I go out my way. Do the dash, then I
Throw
go
up the
out
set.
the way.
That's KK right there. Look at him. Just got out, homie. Yeah.
He just got out. Congratulations. He's all geeked up now. His pants are down. He's on drugs. He's a criminal. He's doing gang signs and like gun signs.
Outside the gas station, he's got a misshapen body, probably some sort of fetal alcohol syndrome mix. He was doomed from birth. He was doomed.
Visibly violent.
Yeah.
And then that's who gets let out.
Yeah.
And our next story is the opposite. It's a good person, a good Samaritan who's might be getting put in prison. Daniel Penny, we have an update there. We're going to cover the prosecutor. We have some new information about the prosecutor. Can you read the... We'll get into it, but it's a long section.
The Daniel Penny saga just gets more and more insane. At the time of his death, there was a warrant out for Jordan Neely's arrest for the assault of a woman on the subway. How this even went to trial is beyond me. And it says at the time of his death, Neely had one active warrant for an alleged assault in connection with a 2021 incident. And we've obviously harped on this. He has 42 prior arrests, this guy.
Yeah, he's a street rat, violent, repeat criminal, kept getting let out. And then that info about having a warrant out, they weren't allowed to tell the jury that.
Yeah, of course not. That could tamper the juries, and then they'll use pictures from when he was 5 years ago before he was all fucking lost.
Mm-hmm. And then Jordan Neely's father sues Daniel Penny. I guess now he suddenly cares about his kid.
That's the ghetto lottery. You sue once you think there's a payday somewhere, and it doesn't really matter, right?
And let's get into the actual prosecutor. So this is the woman here. I don't know her name. It's some Israeli name. What is it?
Daphna Yoran. She was born in Israel. She's a lesbian.
Yeah, an Israeli lesbian who's going to be fair to white Daniel Penny, I bet. She actually had another case she prosecuted a few years ago where a black man robbed an old Asian professor who was 86 or 87 years old at an ATM, assaulted him, killed the guy, and then she knocked down his sentence in a way to do restorative justice.
Yeah, she knocked down like a potential 25 to life sentence to 10 years.
And called it manslaughter instead of murder.
And it was the first time that the DA's office had used that program for someone charged in a homicide case. So just because the guy was black, let's give him a slap on the wrist for killing an 87-year-old for $300.
And then she called it using prosecutorial discretion because the guy had bad circumstances that made him need to rob, and she felt bad for him, not feeling bad for the 86-year-old Asian professor who got killed for a few $100.
Yep.
And here we have the clip where she talks about it.
So I'm going to give you an example of something that I did with a recent case of mine, and this has never been done in my office. I had a murder case where the defendant did not intentionally kill the victim. He went into an ATM on the Upper West Side and tried to rob an individual. Unfortunately, it was an older individual. He was 86. And in the course of the robbery, he fell to the ground, and as a result, he died. This is, under the law, a felony murder, which is akin to intentional murder. However, when I first got the case, I learned, I took the time to learn about the defendant. And it was a strong case, so it wasn't about a whodunit. I knew immediately who did it. I could prove it. I could take it to trial that day and win it. But it wasn't about that. It was that the more I learned about the defendant and his life and the circumstances, the kinds of things that Jarrell was talking about, that one should take into account the trauma of that individual, I really felt incredibly sorry for him that he had gotten to that point in his life where he felt like there was no other.
Felt sorry for him.
So that same logic doesn't apply to someone who played it right their whole life. You know, Daniel Penny, who was an upstanding citizen, never had any criminal, prosecutions, never committed any crimes.
Veteran.
Went to the Marines, was a Marine. They don't consider that, but they consider what got you fucked up when you're killing an 87-year-old Asian man. Because you're too stupid to see that if you knock down an 87-year-old, it could kill him, you know? So there's mitigating circumstances if you're like retarded, but if you're a normal upstanding guy, then throw the book at you, right?
Isn't that horrible?
I don't think any judges or prosecutors or lawyers conducting the business of a major American cities, states, or municipalities should be foreign born either.
Yeah.
Like it's a very weird thing. Like I don't think that's a role that you kind of, even if you get your green card and you become an immigrant, you become a citizen, I think you kind of leave that to the OGs, to the born here Americans, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. And then she said that she felt bad for him because of his circumstances that made him do that, and he didn't intentionally kill the person, but he was doing a crime.
Yeah.
Daniel Penny didn't intentionally kill the person who was assaulting other people.
Yeah.
So it's like you were trying to stop people from being in harm's way, and then you accidentally killed the guy. It's a lot different than, I was just trying to rob the guy at the ATM and I accidentally killed him.
The parallels are very interesting because they're like the same. And then if you're like a good-hearted, normal, upstanding, orderly person, you'd go, oh, the Daniel Penny guy should probably be gone. And if you're like a woke, restorative, backwards and upside down person, then you say, let's cut the black perpetual criminal a break, you know? So it's very weird. It's like a litmus test, and obviously she chooses the wrong one.
And then there was a Marxism quote that I found that sums that up too. Can you read that?
Yeah. A Marxist system is recognized by the fact that it spares the criminals and criminalizes political opponents.
That's where we're at. And then this woman, she's a dismantler phenotype. Someone made that point. I thought that was a great point.
Yeah, captive dreamer. He said, dismantler phenotype, the Soros vision of the future, rampant criminality protected by legal and political authorities while law-abiding citizens are penalized.
And then this, when it comes to her motivations and why she does what she does and why she is a prosecutor, this is what she said.
And thinking about what it is that I've been doing all these years, it's actually very clear why I became a prosecutor. My father was a Holocaust survivor and his parents were murdered. And so I grew up with somebody whose parents were murdered and all of the emotional implications that go along with that. Now, as a kid, learning a lot about the Holocaust and knowing about my family's experience, something that really, really bothered me was that nobody was ever held accountable.
So no one was held accountable. She goes on to say accountable for the murders, which is so ironic because now you're doing the opposite. You let that guy go.
Yeah. Accountability doesn't matter unless you look Germanic or Roman or something like Daniel Penny, right?
And then our next story, there was a guy who did self-defense in New York and used a knife and killed the attacker, and then they dropped that case because it was self-defense.
Yeah, New York City subway stabbing. Jordan Williams has charges dropped after arguing he killed fellow passenger in self-defense. And obviously Jack Posobiec says, weird how this standard doesn't apply to Daniel Penny in the same city. And this guy was black. He was black who knifed him. So very weird, very strange that this Daniel Penny case went. You know, you'd think at some point the Daniel Penny, like a lot of the time too, like, right, criminal justice. A whole point, she's talking about restorative justice for the black guy who robbed the ATM guy and killed him, right? And a huge part of punishment or going to trial or wasting huge city resources, obviously Daniel Penny wasn't going to like take a plea and do 5 years. He's like, dude, I didn't really do anything wrong. The reoffender, the chance that you reoffend, Like, you think Daniel Penny's going to wrestle anybody on the New York City subway ever again? Fuck no. You think he's going to kill anybody ever again? Hell no. Do you think that black guy who had the rough upbringing and who killed the Asian man at the ATM is going to rob someone at an ATM again?
Yeah.
He could. He easily could. I don't think there's any lessons or
Jordan Neely himself, 42 arrests.
Yeah.
Clearly.
He's gonna. And so the point of punishing Daniel Penny for that, it just doesn't make any sense to me. The being a danger to society is just not there. And instead of looking at that, they're looking at how they got there or something. It's just like missing the point, missing the forest for the trees.
Yeah.
So.
And then Mayor Adams is supporting Daniel Penny, which was nice to see.
No.
Did he?
No.
He said Daniel Penny did what the city should do.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, that was recent. So that's good. He said, cancel me, I don't care.
I thought it was only about the Trump deporting migrants thing.
Yeah, he mentioned that Daniel Penny did what anyone should do.
Good for him.
Yeah,
wow,
good for him.
I'm surprised by that, to be honest.
And then our last piece of urban decay before we move on to Uplifting Gold, we have a stat about Soros DAs or Soros-linked prosecutors and how the numbers are going down.
Breaking 21 George Soros-backed prosecutors have been ousted since 2022 and replaced by tough-on-crime prosecutors, according to a recent report.
So that's good.
Yeah, and I mean,
that's natural.
That's healing. That's normal. That's like you went too far and now we got to bounce back. It's like a rubber band. It's not, politics is like that. There's a snap back. Newton's third law or some shit.
Some shit like that.
Yeah.
All right, don't get too down or too depressed. Moving on to Uplifting Gold. All right, our first clip of Uplifting Gold. Speaking of the rubber band snapping back, remember that guy from a few months ago who was paying to have a dog outfit?
Yeah.
Become a dog? You want to become a Shetland?
A border collie.
A border collie. Well, he changed his mind.
His name is Choco, and in 2022, he realized his dream after spending $14,000 on a very elaborate border collie outfit. But he's now decided in 2024 that it's actually really hard to walk in this costume. As a human, it's hard to walk on all fours. So he's calling time on his lifelong fantasy of becoming an animal. I guess he's fulfilled it now, Joe. So
welcome back, brother.
Welcome back. You're well. Don't start doing DoorDash or anything, man. Don't do any weird shit.
But now that Trump's back, even the dog people are going back to people.
Yep, $14K on that. I bet he could resell that for $7. I bet that holds its value.
There's some freaks out there who are interested.
For sure.
Next, I found this old ad for like toy guns from the 60s. I thought it was interesting.
COM Sonic Blaster, and you can use it to blast the whole neighborhood. Sells for $8.98. Pump it up a little bit. Fire it like at a candle.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
The old guns that looked like real guns, and obviously we can't have those anymore because
of the woke?
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say juvenile criminal blacks. But that
it's an air gun.
But woke, yeah, because of woke.
Brother, calm down.
Oh, it's the end of the show,
Getting loose.
But back in the day, you could have toy guns, and that was cool. But now you can't because kids really do use guns, and then you get killed, and then everyone's mad at the cops.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Our next clip. There is an influencer on the right. His name's Greatness. He gives money to people. Him and Woe Vicky gave money to some people, I believe, in New York City.
Yes, I told you that. Very nice guy. Yeah. I want to present you with this. Can I give you a gift? What's this? It's for you. What it is? Take it and smash it. This is a gift from Greatness and Woe Vicky to you.
A present.
Smash it. It's for you, my brother. I should smash it? Smash it. Right on the ground, right now.
It's okay, no problem. God bless. It's a problem.
Hey, that's for you. God bless, brother. Thank you, brother. That's from God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit to you, my brother. Thank you.
Jesus, God bless you. Jesus is king.
God bless. Thank you so much.
Love you.
Give you that for love. Wait, what? What's wrong?
Love you, Mom.
How you doing,
Love you, Mom.
It's all for me? Yeah, all for you, brother.
Wow. Isn't that nice?
It's like a fever dream to telling the Jewish guy it's because of Jesus, and then making him pick up the money off the ground. It's crazy
Picking
content.
up the money off the ground.
Crazy
It's
shit
like
going on here.
insane. It's like so like degrading. Like, oh, pick it up, and then it's like he's Jewish. So
Didn't we
there's,
show
like,
this guy throwing money for someone, and then the woman fell?
He threw it up in the air, and then like this like 40-something-year-old woman like took 2 steps, ate shit, and like, oh, you didn't get it, you had to catch it.
Oh.
It was like a garbage bag full of money. But then just giving the money to the Jewish guy and then making him pick it up, like the singles crumbled up in the maybe there were hundreds, but on the ground.
Yeah,
that was pretty good. All right, we gotta go fast. We're actually out of time. It's a long episode. It's Friday. We're all hanging out. All right, next, the group track. There's no volume, but you don't need it. Look at that. I didn't know they moved like that.
Synchronized 3 at a time running.
What is this?
I don't know. It seems like, I don't know. It's something.
The guy in the middle is loafing.
Yeah, the middle guy gets carried, I think, and he just has to go like jellyfish. He has to go jellyfish legs and let his legs be used, and the front and the back do all the work.
But I didn't know they moved like that, so I just wanted to report.
All right, good call. Good
Thank
call.
you.
Here's another. They move like that.
This is very much they move like that.
This is ballerinas or ballet guys.
Yeah. And look how they move. This is like
so the leg movement is hidden, and they stay even.
That's so cool to me.
Yeah,
I'm going to attempt that in Bonus Land for the Christmas special.
Okay, you'll fail miserably and not even come close. That's like 10 years of training to even get close to that. So. Good luck.
I think it's a lot about the outfit. You got to have something that covers where your legs move.
Okay.
I could do it.
No. I mean, sure, but no. You know what I mean?
We'll
I
see.
have no faith in you. You'll never get me to say yes. That type of
until
thing.
you see it.
Yeah, exactly. But you can't. So there's no coming around.
All right, next. This is your story.
Yeah, this is my story. We found a pair of siblings. This guy is Money Williams, and he's a basketball player. He's a guard, and I think he's in the NBA now. I think he's on the Memphis Grizzlies. Money Williams. They named the kid Money. But then when you look at his family, he has 2 younger brothers, Jeremiah and Jermaine, and 2 sisters, Joanna and Monet.
So he's Money, and then the sister's Monet, kind of like the painter, but just smelled a little incorrect.
It's spelled like money, and there's an apostrophe in it. So a male and a female, both named Money, with a little bit of a pause. So,
and we've been on top of this, like the funny black names. There was one person that Rap Boy sent me on social media, and he said that liquidity could be a good name for a black person.
We're talking about words that sound like black people names. Liquidity.
Yeah, detergent.
I don't think you have enough liquidity for that trade. And it's like, come over here, liquidity.
I got liquidity right here.
Get in the car, liquidity.
So, yeah,
that's another one. So we're always looking for more. Debris, liquidity, litigious. Do we have another one? We're assembling a team.
Yeah, we're getting good. Next, we have good news. Trump's going back into the White House, obviously, next month. And this is the last year of the non-binary Christmas shit that Joe Biden does. Here's what it looks like.
Candy cane, black, tap dancing shit. Some Eyes Wide Shut, Pete Buttigieg shit.
Yeah, some real non-binary Hungry Games shit.
Hungry Games?
You like that?
Yeah, I do
Hungry
like that.
Games. That's why AI can't steal our job. They
Yeah.
can't think that up.
Yeah, AI would glitch out on Hungry Games. No, it's Hunger Games. No.
That's why they can't steal
And
our
then
shit.
you do the shitty bit at the end of the episode instead.
And then
Knock a few bucks, son.
And then Trump, good news, is going to the reopening of Notre Dame in France, which was burned down. You guys remember that? And then remember when it got burned down the first time, Michelle Obama was there, happened to be there, and was on the river, and then she was drinking wine watching Notre Dame burn.
Bad optics. Never got roasted for that, truly.
It was in on it.
She did it?
Yeah, they were doing it.
Okay.
And then we're gonna end the show with Rockefeller tree lighting, Rockefeller Center in New York City. Here it is, the tree.
4,
3, 2, 1.
See
Yep, stay white-pilled, everybody. We made it.
And remember when you were being the Grinch? This was in bonus land only, right? Where we covered the story of how they pick the Rockefeller tree out of a random person in the Northeast backyard, and you were saying, I wouldn't want to give my tree to the Rockefeller tree. Look at that. That's a destiny for a tree. So
you're right.
You were being a Grinch.
I was being grim.
I mean, it's obviously valuable and you give it away for free, but still.
I said grim.
Whatever. You said Hungry Games, too.
Grimsh is a callback from like 3 years ago when we first started the show.
I know.
Grimsh.
I know.
I'm the Grimsh. All right, another Fleckus Talks in the books. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. FleckusTalks.com for bonus land starting right now. We have a 30-minute bonus land. If you guys are looking for a show to watch over the weekend, you want more of this show, and you wish there was, there is. FleckusTalks.com is the website. Go sign up now. And I think we're going to figure out how to do gifted memberships for the holidays. So if you have someone in your life who would like bonus land as a gift, it's a great gift. Comment if you're interested in that, and we'll make sure we get that set up, and we'll probably present that next week.
Cool.
All right, thank you guys for watching. Have a nice weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday.
2024. Take care. Stay safe. Don't get out of major earthquake. Stay safe.